former owner was disgraced. Diddy had put this out to the public, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all all about this. Attention to the Carolina Panthers. Attention, NFL. This is a chance to make history. There's no African American majority owners in the NFL. I would like to buy the Carolina Panthers. Let's go. Spread the word. Spread the word. Tell the world. No joke. Diddy actually got a team together. Went and made an Instagram video to tell everybody he wanted to buy the Carolina Panthers. Now, this came hours after Jerry Richardson, the founder of the Carolina Panthers, was accused of making some racial comments towards an employee that worked there and the way he treated them, and they forced him to sell the NFL team due to the Colin Kaepernick movement that was going on. And the people in the town were outraged that the NFL would make him leave. They had a statue of him in front of the stadium. This man donated $150 million to Wofford College. He was not happy about Cohn's assessment and thought, is this what they're going to do to try to force all the owners to sell to African American people? And Steph Curry wanted to join, and this was going to be big news, and it was big news for what it was. But was Diddy really serious? Well, he put it out there like he was serious, and he used it as marketing and used this as a platform to get a lot of the attention. It's got a lot of marketing capabilities and opportunities showing up. He said he would put Colin Kaepernick as in the running for the quarterback job in Carolina. That's what rubbed the NFL owners the wrong way. And I hope you didn't mind me getting straight to it. But I wanted to get straight to it today. No time to waste. No time like the present. So, this bombshell news well, it's the reason for a lot of things. Don't leave. Not going nowhere. Hold on. All right, don't leave. Don't go nowhere. All right, there we go. Now the Patreons are here also. Hit the like button going through the progression. Now, the other reasons, okay, there it is. Now, the other reasons you might think of when you see Sean Diddy Combs and you start seeing the situations he was going through, Jerry Richardson wasn't happy with Roger Goodell making these changes and explaining to him that the times have changed. You know, you're going to have to sell the team. And he's like, so what if I'm old and bigoted? They're like, Jerry, you're going to have to sell the team. Sorry, we got to force you out. They're forcing my hand. This Kaepernick thing just won't go away. We're going to need you to step down. Take one for the team, Jerry. So Jerry Richardson stepped down. And Diddy comes out and make the statement that he did. So what ended up happening was that Jerry Richardson is beloved in the NFL community. The NFL, football, Carolina, period, loves Jerry Richardson. Now, they didn't care if he was bigoted or not. That's Jerry Richardson in Carolina. He saved it. He brought the football team here. He did all these wonderful things. How could you do this to Jerry? So, when Diddy started using that platform, he popped up, put that picture of him at the Super Bowl halftime wearing a Peppers jersey in Carolina. Jerry Richardson wasn't too happy. Having his statue removed, he felt disgraced. So Wofford College is a good alma mater for him. He gave him $150 million. The athletic director and everybody there was 100% on his side. And some of the owners of the NFL, including the New York Giants. Where does this go? Well, when Diddy brought up the fact that he was going to bring Kaepernick in and give him an opportunity to be the starting quarterback and just bypass all the other owners, this automatically eliminated him and his chances of even becoming an owner. So they said, you know what? Let's give him what he wants. Yeah, let's take this thing very serious. So Steph Curry and Diddy was going to come together and buy the Carolina Panthers. So Steph Curry was going to get involved in the bid also in this fund where Diddy was going to be the majority owner and Steph Curry would be a minority owner in the Carolina Panthers. Diddy was actually serious about buying the team at this point. What went as a marketing thing said, hey, no, Will, Steph Curry's involved. We can make this happen. We're going to be some black owners. The NFL don't mind welcoming Steph Curry into a minority share position, but a majority shareholder position for Sean Diddy Combs? Not in the cards, buddy. So now, all the script got flipped. All news telecasts were talking about Diddy buying the Carolina Panthers. So now, the NFL, since he decided, this is before they decided to bring in Jay-Z, Diddy was brought in. I mean, he just jumped the gun. He just got himself involved. He said, you know what? I'm getting involved. Diddy jumped up, said, I'm getting involved. Take that, take that, take that. And you just gonna have to take that. It got real strange after that. Once Diddy got involved, things got a little crazy. Because now, who is that? Okay, I don't know them. But the NFL tried to do something real sneaky and dirty. Hit the like button, y'all, because they might be trying to throw you out. So make sure you hit the like button so you can stay with me. We stay active, stay moving. Moving and grooving, baby. Moving and grooving. Now, yes. Now, here's the problem in the scenario. The NFL, the owners got together and they said, okay, he wants to play with us. Let's show him who we playing with. You want to be an owner, right? Boom. Let's vet him. This is when the search and the process of gathering information about Sean Diddy Combs went into play. So they put in an extensive, a deep dive into his life. Financials, all the things that they would need to get information on Sean Combs. Not the stuff that he was volunteering, the things he wasn't volunteering. They want to know about cases. They want to know the dirty stuff. They're on the dark web. They're finding everything out about Sean Diddy Combs that would disqualify him or embarrass him So Diddy's bid was turned down because Diddy did not meet the qualifications of an NFL owner. So the private investigators found all this information out, and they were the ones that started digging into Sean Diddy Combs. And where did these guys go? The Mars, the owner of the New York Giants, who's also great friends with Jerry Richardson, and all of these other guys who were from Wolford, who Jerry gave $150 million to. They started the smear campaign of Sean Diddy Combs and Colin Kaepernick on the internet. The whole university. Seems to be all these guys are coming from Wolford. Then you see Wolford, that's where Jerry Richardson was from. They were mad that he was ousted. He gave him $150 million. They got the stadium named after him. They got a statue of him out there right now. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, Jerry passed away, brokenhearted. That 7 years ago, y'all drove him out the NFL over some remarks of him being bigoted. When y'all knew he was a bigot, when he bought the team, you didn't care. But it was like, hey, this Kaepernick thing is going on. We got to ride this way. So eventually, Jay-Z was brought in. And once Jay-Z was brought in and got him into the circle of the NFL, and they saw how he was in charge of the entertainment, and they didn't give that to Diddy, and they did not give that to Jermaine. Well, they offered it to Jermaine Dupri, but Jay-Z told him not to take it and negotiated himself a much better deal, because that's Jay. Now Jay-Z got people not thinking about Kaepernick no more. And then, to top that, guess what happened after that, good people? After this infraction take place, something else monumentally crazy happened. Jay-Z was forced by the NFL to keep his distance away from Sean Combs. As you wonder why Jay-Z and Diddy are not close, and that he keeps reiterating that we're not friends, they're just business colleagues, they see each other, because the NFL already knew all of this was being developed in case. It didn't never get to this extreme yet, because Diddy still had powerful friends on the left and the right. But they had the information. But this was the time Diddy was getting too big for his britches. He was thinking, I'm untouchable. And as long as Diddy thought he was untouchable and he was an equal to people, and he could now go off the path, that's how you get these scenarios to take place. There's so much to be said, but there's very little being done. So, Diddy put himself in the crosshairs when he was trying to buy the Carolina Panthers. When he came out and made that post, and then the NFL was okay with him saying that, but once he said that he was going to put Colin Kaepernick and give him, I'm going to put him out there and give him a chance to compete for the starting job, NFL didn't like that. You had sealed your doom. And they was, who the hell does this guy think he is? And because Steph Curry is a huge friend of the Carolina Panthers, especially the new owner, they did not want to upset Stephen Curry. So when he was going to team up with Diddy for this enterprise, all of a sudden, Steph Curry is not in the mix. He falls back. They never talk about it no more, but Steph was in the bid with Diddy. But then it became all about Diddy. Stephen Curry always wanted to buy the Carolina Panthers. He grew up a Panthers fan. He came out there when they were in the playoffs, the Super Bowl. Steph was out there. So, yeah, people were done. They were tired. Because when you think about it, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm tired, man. I haven't had any sleep in like 2 days. It's been grind. Yeah, Steph Curry tried to buy the Panthers once Jerry Richardson was forced to sell the team after some comments he made. Some employee said he had some racially insensitive comments in the workplace. This was right after George Floyd incident. And they already knew how Jerry was. He was a bigoted old man. But he had a lot of money. But because of all the stereotypes, that had to go. So Diddy stepped in and said, I want to be a majority owner in the NFL. We haven't had one. It's about time we make a change. Once he started talking like that, then said he's going to give Cap the job. That's all black people heard. He's going to give Cap the job. If Diddy buy the team, yeah, sell it to Diddy. So he's getting all the publicity. So then he said, all right, well, I'm getting all this publicity. Let's put this in play and make a bid for the team. They were never going to sell it to Diddy. Diddy knew that, but he pissed them off. So they said, okay, we're going to vet you. For real. And they went into his past. They heard about the ass beatings and all the activities. Because they got a real private investigator from Wolford, which was the alma mater of Jerry. Jerry thought it was insulting that the NFL would listen to sell the team to Diddy. And these are the developments that they're not looking into. It's a lot of parties at play trying to kick Diddy while he's down. And they started this back in 2017, 2018. They've been digging all through his life since then, putting things in position. And then when he got out of line with the Democrats, when he said buying votes and all of this stuff, that's when everything started to change. That's when his attitude and their attitude towards him changed. When he did that interview with Charlemagne, who's pro-left, once he said that, then it went to a whole nother dynamic. See, I'm pro being an independent. And that's what Diddy said he is now. And he apologized for the rock the vote. Because he's like, man, they was just buying us to sell them, but we ended up with nothing out of it. Had a good party though. But once he decided to start one black party, or our black party or whatever, a black-owned political party, where black bring their issues up, and if you want black people's votes, you're going to have to do something for the community. You got to tell us what we're going to get out of it. Everybody else have a group. They have their own political party. Why we don't? We had the Rainbow Coalition that used to be for us, but now they make the rainbow stand for something else. Jesse Jackson used to have a Rainbow Coalition with Operation Push. And the Rainbow Coalition was supposed to represent people of color before they made it represent something else. And the Rainbow Coalition helped organize people and get them to their point of views. They'll never tell you how close Jesse Jackson was to actually becoming the first black president. And the second time he ran, in the second election, was way better than the first. That scared white folks because they didn't realize we were that organized. Because after Harold Washington came and won, Jesse ran for president, and he didn't make it because he made some controversial statements that knocked out his votes in New York. Then, second time around, they were more organized to get it done. So the first black mayor, Harold Washington, city of Chicago, was in place, political parties. So Diddy was following that suit, saying, look, we need to get in this game because we're not a part of the conversations. Now, Diddy was already a billionaire. He ain't got to worry about nothing. So saying that we're not a part of the conversations is really true, but nobody in his position would ever say something like that. They'll just get their money and keep going. Diddy had an epiphany. He was like, I'm trying to change all this, man. He was like, I got to reach back for my brothers. They don't want you to do that. Anybody that's rich and successful, they don't reach their hand back for their brothers if they in that position. LeBron don't reach his hand back for his brothers. You're going to say, what about Mav Carter? What about that's 5 people. That's like 5 people, dog. There's no way with LeBron's infrastructure, he wouldn't have a corporation of 300, 400 or more brothers and sisters out here enriching them, teaching them how to go out and own and run their own businesses. You got the resources. Stop saying I sent 6 black girls to college for a tax write-off. How about putting together a program that would teach the people in your community? How about going back to Akron and saying, okay, I'm finna change and restructure everything that's over here. And I'm gonna restructure all the settings. We keep having evictions. I'm gonna buy all these houses over here and call it the LeBron homes. And now y'all can live over here and y'all can pay this rent, but y'all gotta keep it up. All of y'all can come in the community, but y'all gotta keep this community up. I don't wanna see the grass not cut. I don't wanna see no trash. I don't wanna see no cigarette butts. Y'all take care of the community. You can make it a non-profit organization. So you don't even have to spend your money on the project. You could have a community center where they teach different trades in each building over and after, to try to change the environment and give the people in your neighborhood a chance where they wouldn't have a chance. But he don't. That's why they pick him, because they know he gonna do whatever they say. And once Diddy decided to go with his heart, for the first time in his life, he gonna just go off his heart and what he feel, what he know is right. They got to make an example of him off of his past. We got to dirty his name up. We gotta run his name through the dirt. We gotta show you what he is and what we want you to look at him and think he's a monster. How many times did they say that on like every news network? Diddy's a monster. Diddy's a monster. He's a monster. He's not a monster, he's a man. He was the man that y'all was taking pictures with and smiling and coming in office with. That was before. No, he hit Cassie. I mean, Roger Lyles, Fox News should be shut down for all the sexual harassments and assaults that's happened on company time, company lot. CBS, NBC, all of them have had women that have been harassed, assaulted, forced labor, all of them. And they paid settlements to shut people up and go back to work as business as usual. Paying out hundreds of millions of dollars. CBS then paid out over $1 billion in settlements. Same as NBC, paying out hundreds of millions in settlements. Fox News, not one word about Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon has got some of the most egregious charges, his text messages, everything. His documentation been going back years. But yet, y'all force him to sell the company. Said, we want you out the company. But you didn't do that right away. Y'all knew everything about Vince and kept Vince going for 30, 40 more years. Y'all didn't care. This woman trial, is, in her case, is still going on. Vince ain't been arrested yet. They still ain't arrested Vince. What they waiting on? Right. Because they want you to think monster. Because in some of these racist minds, that's what they say. See, look, y'all thought that guy was nice because he smiled, he got the nice jewelry on. But look, behind the scenes, he's a monster. Told you, baby, they're animals. You got idiots like that. We're the animals, but who the most serial killers? Who do the most homicides? Who do the most suicides? incest, every crime you know, you name, they at the top of the list. But we the monsters. See how that worked? They spent 4-5 days arguing over a foul on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark commits a foul. Caitlin Clark commits a foul. No one contests the foul. Because Angel Reese got up upset off a foul by Caitlin Clark, who turned and walked away, everybody's supposed to be upset. Why does she get so upset? It's just a foul. How about the fact that they're getting beat by 40? The game itself, she's pissed off. So she ain't finna let a foul or nothing to go down. She's fired up. She's in the game. She ain't hit nobody. She ain't hurt nobody. It's just a basketball play. It's like, move on. They done played about 2 more games and they still talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and they almost fought. I'm like, damn, they done played 2 more games since then. Y'all still talking about that? Then you got 2 brothers who both trying to point to each other. You the sellout. No, you the sellout. You the sellout. You the sellout. No, it's you. How about both y'all are suspect right now? How about that? Now, let's get to some layers, because there's other things that's involved in this that I'm gonna let my Patreons know. Shouts out to my Patreons right now. All of y'all holding it down. Appreciate y'all. I've been hitting y'all up with a lot today. This is that news I was telling you about. I was waiting to get more information on. Now, we also have other issues at play. Now, I'm going to do this delicately because the trial is still going on and I will not be giving them ammunition. But I want you to notice how they hadn't mentioned Drake. They nonchalantly brings his name up. They have not brought up the fact of anything with Drake. Why didn't the witnesses call him to the stand? Drake went to the hospital. Remember? Diddy put him in the hospital. Why didn't they call him? Why didn't they rope him up with his involvement with Cassie? She was over there to work with him on some music. They hanging out, going to the fest. And once again, Cassie Ventura does what she does, manipulates, lie to get Diddy's attention because she wants to be the #1 girl. She don't want to be #2 or #3 girl. She don't know why she's not #1 girl. And who's this Gina? Why is she getting all your time? That should be my time. So, it's already been proven. All these people like Teaser Tales just don't want to admit it. You see, Teaser Tales, she's focused on the salaciousness of it. She doesn't do any investigative journalism. She's all theory. Whatever narrative she's creating, she's just gonna make it up on the fly. You ever hear her talking about this trial and wonder why what she's saying don't go along with the transcript? How her titles and thumbnails are misleading. And I thought YouTube was supposed to be cracking down on stuff like that. But they let it go. Baby child, I was in the courtroom today, and I swear, Diddy, he was sweating. He's got the shakes. He is holding his arms because it is so much to take in. It has been a strenuous day for Diddy. The way Diddy was drinking that water when they were testifying, he knew. Oh my God, they got me. Oh my God, did you see how Diddy was drinking that water? All theatrics. And who does this work on? Black women. They fall victim to it. Now, just like I told y'all about the movie Honey 3, where Michael B. Jordan, they said, was the guy, right? They said, well, Michael B. Jordan, he's the guy. They were flirting down in South Africa. That's not what I heard. Michael B. Jordan's name wasn't mentioned, but now I see why they probably did what they did. But they told me about the choreographer, the South African dance instructor was teaching Cassie how to dance in the South African dance because she wasn't getting it because she can't dance. So they had to teach her steps, trying to work with her to get her to do, dance like a black woman from Africa, even though she's not. I tell you, that movie made no sense. And nobody ever mentioned it to you until now. Now, what I just told you about the Carolina Panthers and the NFL's involvement in this whole situation, vetting Sean Diddy Combs and getting involved, let's see if they bring that up in the trial and see if that comes up like the Honey 3 incident. And once again, no one is bringing up this information, even though it was there, and people just don't do any investigating. They don't find out anything. They don't try to follow up a lead or try to do any of it because they just into the salaciousness. If it's not immediate takeout, it ain't real. It's too many clowns. Too many clowns. Yeah, it's one big circus, man. It's crazy. Well, everybody who I see right now is suspect to me. Except for the real ones. Like KB, a real one. He gonna have his mind made up and he ain't gonna go off the facts of the case probably. Like many other Americans. They just gonna look at it like, Diddy, you a freaky fraud. It looked like he guilty. Because if you going off the look of it, then hell yeah, it's guilty. But if somebody sat there and told him, hey, this is what happened in this exhibit A, this disqualifies that, that's not evidence, this is that, you'll think somebody's dead to rights, because you'll think if this was you, you'd be gone. And the cops came in my house and saw a gun defaced in my room and had loaded bullets in it and everything else, even if it didn't have my prints on it or not, I'm gone. And with Illinois gun laws, shit, I'm up out of there. But that's why we have laws. We have all these provisions put in place just for these moments. All of them been put in place for this. Now, when I saw everybody coming together to basically make a stance, or for a better word, make a commitment to doing this and covering it. Shouts out to Willie D Live. Willie D, I swear, shouts out to Willie D Live, bro. That man is doing justice out here. He don't even know it, probably, but he's doing a justice out here because he ain't blinded by the BS. He's asking the right questions. He's not saying he knows it all. He's just a man with no agenda at all. He ain't got no allegiance. Diddy ain't cut him a check. He's just out there like, this is a little strange. You know, he's calling it like he see it. He thinking, hey, this is a little off. Like, now Cassie, she out there sleeping with everybody, but if Diddy sleep with somebody, he's the cheater and she's the victim. I don't understand this. Exactly, right? That's how we are. We look at it with common sense. Like when she said, oh, he introduced me to oral. I didn't understand it. Everybody in America knew that was a lie. They even got her to admit it again on the stand when the defense got up there. They asked her the question again because they wanted black folks to hear that one more time, just so they could know that you said these words and you stood by it. Like, what was you confused by? You've never heard of it, or like what was the confusion? What you didn't understand by it? I didn't understand it. It's crazy. Diddy isn't a nice guy. This is not about who's the nice guy. He's not being tried for a nice guy. People not knowing the law is the reason that we're in the situation we're in now. But you're learning the law. You're learning that everything in the slam dunk case. They're like, oh man, they got him, dude. That's drugs. He gone. It's like, dude, first, they have to prove that those are his drugs. It's in his house. Don't mean nothing. Plenty of people is in his house. He's a celebrity. Like I told KB today, I said, hey, KB, Diddy's a celebrity. He's not a regular person. He has security in his house. They probably had those guns. Anybody could have brought those guns. He's got assistants, managers, chefs, so many people coming in and out of his home. And when they have no prints of his on the guns, on the bullets, nothing, and they have Diddy's DNA, they took his DNA when they arrested him. So they got Diddy's DNA, and none of it was on the weapon. And the government knows that. That's why they saying everything around it. Because if they had his prints, they'd be like, whose print was there a print found on the weapon? Did it say who the print belonged to? Sean Diddy Combs. You didn't hear that at all, did you? Because you know why? They didn't find any prints on the weapon. Mainly Diddy's. Meanwhile, Dana White has an AK-47 clear made as a gift sent to him. Could actively work. I love that y'all got the yellow and black Yeah, I love this. Every time I walk over here, I'll be like, yeah. So what made y'all do the theme?
Oh, he just likes yellow.
That's cool. Yeah, yellow and black, baby, like bumblebees. That's right, go Pacer. Now, what is the narrative? Oh, they starting the game early tonight. No, but you know what really hurt? You know what really hurts is the fact that people ignore the facts. That's what irks me more than anything. Even if a gun is defaced, they have to prove it's your gun. They can't prove it's your gun. You don't have no proof of Diddy holding a gun, except for somebody said, "Oh, he had a gun. He had 3 of them in his lap." People have told 3 different stories about the deli. Suge Knight left the deli. You have Gene Deal testifying. Well, he didn't testify. What he did was he went on Art of Dialogue and he told him, D-Rock told him he was in the restaurant. This was years ago before the trial. And before the testimony even took place, that D-Rock told him that Cassie came in the restaurant and brought him 2 guns to get him up out of there. Because guys was in there and he wasn't, he ain't had no way to get out. So when they went to the diner or whatever, like, oh, they brought the burner in. Cassie walked in and gave him the guns. Yes. Yeah, man, that's crazy though. We'll talk about the Brunson incident. Uh, yeah, I told you, he's friends with a lot of people out here. I'm like, man, everybody love Brunson out here. Because he's from out here. Went to school at Stevenson. He didn't live that far away from here. His girlfriend is now his wife. They went to high school together. Same one, Stevenson. It's crazy. I played against him when he was in Mundelein. We beat them, but he was 15 years old. Come on. He wasn't beating me at 15 years old. He was about 5'8". He was about 5'8" at 15. He was kind of tall. I know I'm 5'11". I was taller than him. what got my attention was the fact that everybody had something to say. When Diddy went down, you know, when people say when something happened to white folk, nobody else say nothing. Like no other race, they say nothing. They don't say this was good. They don't say this is bad. They just don't say anything. They stay quiet. Black folks feel they gotta talk about they business. And it be their best friend. He gonna be, is that ABC News? Yeah. Well, I've been knowing him for 17 years. Yeah, he owed me $27. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't tripping on it, but he owed me that. And no, this is a shock. I didn't know he was like what y'all say he did, embezzlement. I ain't never seen that, but it don't surprise me because he owed me $27. All right. Okay, she cooking. But he's like, yeah, he owed me that $27. He never gave it back. And then I think he shorted somebody, one time. He supposed to give them their change, and he shorted them. Nah. No, I'm not being a hypocrite. Am I throwing my friends under the bus? No. Diddy ain't my friend. I'm reporting on what's out there. He's on a trial. I'm reporting on it.
Team owner Jerry Richardson a letter online Sunday night announcing this move. Now, Richardson assured fans that the sales process will not start until the last game is played. Meanwhile, he says the team will not even entertain inquiries. The decision comes after Sports Illustrated reported allegations of workplace misconduct that were, now remember, no inquiries, but Sean P. Diddy Combs, also known as Diddy, says he wants to buy the North Carolina Panthers. He says he will be the best NFL owner. He'll put Colin Kaepernick in the running for next year's starting quarterback, and he says he'll have the best halftime show, best music selection, and says the team will win Super Bowl after Super Bowl. I half believe him.
And you think they were happy when Diddy did that? Guess again. I know, right? So when they try to assassinate your character, come after you, now Diddy did a lot of self-inflicting wounds to himself. Well, my thing is, if they're gonna make a case against Diddy, I need to hear something. You know what I'm saying? You got to show me something. I need to hear it. Now, well, when things happen, they're supposed to be on terms, right? So you want everything to happen on certain terms that are beneficial. Hmm. You always want it to be something that's going to be beneficial on both sides, so both parties could be satisfied with the situation. But what have we really saw so far that's anything of anything, right? You can't be worried about stuff like that because if you're worried about it, then you're gonna be in a situation where it don't even add up. You do you want to be in that person? You want to be in that situation where it don't add up. Is you gonna work hard or work smart? I know they got so many people doing so much craziness right now. Kid Cudi was nervous. Hmm. Well, that's how the game is. You know, when you in this game, people look at you a certain way. Hmm. I know many people didn't understand it. I know people didn't. People got to understand something. When they say Diddy Combs did something, hmm, turning a blind eye don't make you innocent either. all these celebrities been to his parties. But you got to understand, you can go to somebody's house and to a party, but if you ain't been in that situation, believe me, they had the freakiest of the freaks. They've had the after party and the after parties, but they never been to that. As you notice, all of these things is that they're doing, these freak offs, is Cassie, Diddy, and the sex worker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so much craziness out here. It just don't even make sense. Yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Super chat. My cash app is Carcino, Carceno. Appreciate the love and support. Man, it's a horrible situation out here, man. They just taking people's lives for no reason. Yeah. And then all of this stuff happening in the city is crazy. Mm.
The FBI released those pictures and everybody was so caught up. Yeah,
Yes.
everybody was so caught up on the dildos that had the serial number scratched off. But they in the
dildos have serial numbers?
yes, he had dildos with serial numbers scratched off. But what about guns?
So let me tell you something about these guns.
Not
Right?
the untraceable.
If he charged, I don't know if he charged with these. Is this part of the RICO?
I believe that what they're going to try and bring in with the RICO is they're going to use the guns and the drugs to show, and I'm going to look this up to make sure that I'm hitting this right to the nail, so you'll be mad when I don't. But what I'm assuming that they're trying to show is that he used add to the force and the intimidation and things of that nature. But I'm going to look that up to answer you exactly.
Yeah, I just want to know if he's getting charged with guns with the serial number scratched off, automatic weapons. That's
You're in New York, dog. This was in Miami. So automatic weapon in Miami is like a toy in Walmart.
big federal charge.
But let me tell you, the way Diddy's team came in the cross about the guns, I think Tanny Garagos, Mark Garagos' daughter, she is not to be played with. So they did the special agent. We went through his home. They talked about all the guns they found. Expert. She got back up on that scene and she said, "Hold on, what's your process? Y'all take pictures before and after so that we can make sure that you guys, are chronicling this stuff right and accurate." He says, "Yes." She brought back up all those photos with those guns. No photos before for a lot of the things, and she's like, "Well, were you the person that took the photos?" The man testifying said, "No." She said, "Well, I'm looking at a bunch of stuff at the bottom of a closet floor. Some of these things included where they found the guns. They opened boxes and found different things, right?" She's like, "Can you tell me which cubby these guns came out of?" He said, "No." And she said, "Okay, so she's making the point. They're trying to draw a very clear distinction between how do you even know that these are his when they're either their serial numbers on that or they're not. You didn't do any DNA testing, like at all, and you could have. And it's easier for you to do DNA testing when you find these guns inside of a home versus outside and all of the elements."
But it's his home though. They found them in there, so that.
See, again, they thinking like regular people. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Florida has a whole different, very relaxed appeal when it comes to guns. That's why you got to follow the transcripts. See, if you go through the transcripts, you see that, it's like, whoa.
The video went viral.
Mm-mm-mm. No. Yeah, it's crazy at these trials. I did a video on Remy and them already. I'm just really exhausted from them. But yeah, I got a video already made with them. But we getting ready for uh the live stream. Just give me a second. Mm-hmm. So shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bud, Willie D Live TV. Mm-hmm. Welcome to HDI TV. Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. And definitely come to the realization that you can go to the Patreon and get more information. I will give you a Patreon version of some details we left out, just so you guys would have it. So wait for that, and let me get ready for the game.